Hello, I'm Ariane, and this is my April TBR, to be read list. What I hope to read in April, basically. So, I have a few challenges for myself every month, and the first one is to read a physical sequel. So the physical sequel I want to read this month is The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. Ironically, last month I read the first book in this series, thinking it was a sequel, which it technically kind of is, and I still counted it, because it's a sequel series to the first series, which is the Folk of the Air series. And I don't think this one really has its own name. I can't remember if it does, but basically, it's a sequel series to the Folk of the Air series, and this is the second book in the duology, so I can tell you nothing about it. I have high hopes for this one, even though there were a lot of aspects I didn't like about the last one, but I did enjoy the last one, and I really liked the ending. Like, I know that she made me like the ending, but I still really liked it, so I do still have high hopes for this one. Another challenge I do for myself is to read a Magic Treehouse book each month, and another challenge I do is Buzzwordathon, which is a game, a book reading challenge by Books and Lala, where every month you have a word that you're supposed to find in the title and something you're supposed to find in the cover. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same book, but this month, both of those prompts fit into my Magic Treehouse prompts. So the Buzzwordathon prompts were an animal on the cover and an animal in the title. And my Magic Treehouse book that I'm up to is Shadow of the Shark. So it works. So the Magic Treehouse books are a series by Mary Pope Osborne. They feature two siblings, Jack and Annie, who find this magic treehouse, which is full of books, and when they point to a book, it will take them to that time and place. Every 4 books is like a mini-series where they have a different adventure. So this book, Shadow of the Shark, is going to start a new series, like mini-series inside it. I have no idea what it's about. Honestly, when it comes to sequels, I do not read the synopses. Another challenge I do for myself is A Year in Aeldia, which is part of the Aurelian Readathon by Book Roast. So A Year in Aeldia, so the main Aurelian Readathon happens in April and September every year, and it's like your characters go to magical school, but A Year in Aeldia is an adventure that takes place throughout the whole year, and you read a book for your character, and they do different things according to the choices you make, and according to the choices you make, you get different prompts. So I actually have 2 different characters who are also different from my main characters, but they actually both got the same prompt, which is to read a book with river in the title. Now, I don't actually have a book on my TBR with the word river in the title, so what I'm going to do is when I get to it, I am going to go to the library website and just find 2 picture books with the word river in the title. I saw a few that look nice, but I'm not choosing right now. Okay, next are books that I have out from the library or are on hold and are supposed to come in soon. Supposed to being the operative word. For that one, I have Magic's Price by Mercedes Lackey. This is the last book in a series, and again, it's a sequel series, so it's very hard. Well, it's not exactly spoilerly to explain what it is in it. It's very hard to explain what it is, but basically this follows Vinyel, and it's basically just his emotional journey throughout life, changing from this very spoiled, egotistical kid to someone who is full of responsibility and really cares to take responsibility for not only beyond himself, but his whole country and people. And it has magic. So Magic's Price is the last one in the series, and it has been for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's been saying available soon. So hopefully at some point it does come. And I mean, it's been nearly 3 weeks. It should come in soon. And then I have 2 books that I just either came in on hold or recently I took out from the library. The first one is Enchantress Returns by Chris Colfer. This is the second book in the Land of Story series by Chris Colfer. This follows 2 kids who find a magical book and they go through it, and they end up in the land of stories. Basically, all these fairy tales that we've heard about, they're true, and the aftermath is happening in the land of stories. And I'm guessing each book is going to have a big bad, because in the first book they did defeat the big bad, and the second book, The Enchantress Returns, I think it's going to have another big bad, who we know who it is from the title. I feel like this book is also going to be the one which is going to tell me if I'm going to continue or DNF the series. Like, obviously, I might decide to continue the series and then DNF at a different time, but I feel like the ending of the first book, like, I really didn't like it for annoyingly moralistic reasons. So I feel like this book we'll see what lessons it gives, and if it tries to drive into your brain that bad people, blah blah blah, that bad people aren't bad, they just have different stories, I will DNF it. But if it's nice, then I might not. We'll see. And then I just took out Cyber Mage by Saad Hossain today because I finished my book and I was like, I need to take another book. And then I didn't end up reading it because I didn't have that much time to read. But this is part of a series which you do not have to read in order. It is basically a series that takes place in Baghdad and the immediate surrounding countries. And it's mixed sci-fi and fantasy. It takes place in a relatively near future, like 50 to 150, 200 years in the future. And there are also jinn. So honestly, every book that I've read in this series has had a very different vibe. So I really don't know what I'm going into this one. I think I will read the synopsis before I start it with God's help tomorrow morning. But I hope I like it. I really liked 2 of the books and the short story I read, and I DNF'd 1 book. And and this one, like, from what I remember, the summary seems a little less of my alley, and I really don't like the cover. So I hope I like it. But those are all the books I'm hoping to get to in April. I'm probably not going to do the Aurelium. I'm going to push it off for a bit. It isn't within me right now. So yes, thank you for watching.